On 10 April 2025, former nominated Member of Parliament Calvin Cheng publicly expressed remorse over controversial remarks made in response to two women who had attended a Meet the People session with Minister K. Shanmugam. The women, said to be supporters of the Monday for Palestine initiative, had raised concerns about the Protection from Online Falsehoods and Manipulation Act. Cheng had previously posted on Facebook on 13 March, suggesting that the women be sponsored to Gaza and expressing hope they never come back. The comments triggered widespread backlash, particularly from Singapore's Malay Muslim community, for appearing to dehumanize and target individuals based on perceived religious or political affiliations. In his 10 April Facebook post, Cheng acknowledged that his comments had caused hurt and anger, and conceded that he should have been more sensitive. He expressed deep remorse during a meeting with senior religious leaders, Ustaz Pasuni Maulan and Ustaz Muhammad Hasbi, held at Yusuf Ishaq Mosque the day prior. He clarified that his remarks were not directed at any ethnic or religious group, but were rather criticisms of perceived activist disruption. However, just 3 days earlier, a letter of demand issued on 7 April by TSMP Law Corporation on Cheng's behalf presented a starkly different tone. Addressed to the online citizen and 3 individuals, it alleged defamation and demanded full retractions and public apologies. The LOD accused TOC of mischaracterizing Cheng as Islamophobic, a threat to racial harmony, and someone deserving criminal investigation. It specifically cited posts by Jafari Mahmood and Kenneth Jeyaretnam, which labeled Cheng as having a history of anti-Islam rhetoric and described his comments as incitements to racial hatred. TOC responded by defending its coverage, arguing that it had merely reported verifiable public reactions, including statements from community leaders and political figures. It highlighted that Cheng's comments had been publicly rebuked by prominent voices, such as Minister in charge of Muslim Affairs Masagos Zulkifli, and condemned by Purgas, the Singapore Islamic Scholars and Religious Teachers Association. Speaking on Barita Harian's Behavioral #Notapis podcast on 9 April, Masagos issued his strongest statement yet. He described Cheng's post as uncivil and deeply hurtful, and warned that such language could fracture trust among Singapore's multiracial communities. He particularly criticized Cheng's treatment of the 2 women who attended the MPS, calling his comments not right, not polite, and wounding to the Malay Muslim community. Masagos added, "Perhaps he doesn't understand that this is not the way. Because our community has been touched by his words, I must rebuke him and say, don't do this." He cautioned against normalizing such rhetoric, stating, "If we don't correct it, this kind of behavior could become routine. We will start fighting among ourselves and forget that trust is the glue that holds our society together." Later that day, Masagos elaborated in a Facebook post, declaring, "No one has the right to suggest that another Singaporean should leave the country because of a different view. This is home for all of us." His remarks reflect a significant shift in tone from an earlier Facebook post on 3 April, where he acknowledged Cheng's efforts in raising nearly 200,000 Singapore dollars for Tampine's SG60 cares, but also stated clearly that he disagreed with Cheng's views on the Israel-Palestine conflict. Cheng had announced that the funds would be redirected elsewhere after controversy arose. Other ministers have also distanced themselves from Cheng. K. Shanmugam stated that his views on the Middle East conflict are sharply different from Cheng's. Foreign Minister Vivian Balakrishnan and Senior Minister of State Tan Kiat later clarified that their apparent likes on Cheng's post were unintentional. On 6 April, Purgas released a statement labeling Cheng's comments as deeply troubling and called on authorities to act in defense of social cohesion. Former opposition figure Jafari Mahmood had also lodged a police report, while civil society groups criticized the apparent pattern of provocative remarks from Cheng. TOC, in its formal response to Cheng's legal action, referenced a 2015 incident where Cheng, then a member of the Media Literacy Council, made controversial comments about killing terrorists and their children to prevent revenge attacks. TOC argued that these incidents together form a reasonable basis for public concern. This apparent dual strategy, conveying remorse in a public Facebook post while simultaneously threatening legal action, has raised questions about whether Cheng is attempting to have it both ways, appearing contrite to the public while discrediting those who interpreted his remarks as harmful.